Wonderful. Now we are back up and running. The recording is working. I am going to make sure that you all can see my screen. Wonderful. Thank you again for your patience. Can you all see the presentation?
Yes.
Wonderful. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we are here today to walk through the West Outer Community Area Plan and discuss how it may impact you and your community. The reason for developing community area plans is that Charlotte has been continuously growing for decades, and it's projected to keep growing. In response to the projected growth, our city adopted the Charlotte Future 2040 Comprehensive Plan in 2021, which defines our 20-year vision for growth and change in Charlotte. The plan essentially calls for future growth to benefit as many people as possible. While the comprehensive plan provides the broad vision for our community, there are other levels of guidance needed to make our vision come to life. This is the planning framework adopted within the comprehensive plan, and it defines and identifies the subsequent levels of guidance needed. For example, Level 2 strategic plans are citywide documents that provide more details than the comprehensive plan on a particular topic. For example, the Strategic Mobility Plan provides more guidance on how to realize Goal 5 within the comprehensive plan, which refers to creating safe and equitable mobility choices for all. Now, Level 3 is Community Area Plans, which is what we're here to discuss today. Community area plans provide more guidance for the appropriate land uses, building form, and infrastructure needed throughout the plan geography. Level 4, specific plans, focuses on smaller geographies and provides more guidance for the implementation of specific projects. Now, it's important to note that levels 2 through 4 all build upon the vision and goals outlined in the comprehensive plan. Community area plans essentially are about creating complete communities, which means creating places that integrate housing, job opportunities, and daily goods in an accessible manner. In other words, live, work, and play in the environment that you live in. Community area plans developed with a 5-phase process that occurred over 2 years. Staff has offered multiple engagement opportunities in each phase, and we have shared the feedback we've received along the way. This slide summarizes engagement efforts from phase 1 through 4 of the effort. We've reached over 400,000 residents, both online and in person, using a range of constant and coordinated tactics. This includes tactics such as social media posts, our website, and all the online interactive content we produce, such as story maps and videos. While virtual interactions are great, we still really value in-person interactions, and we're able to interact with 6,000 people from phase 1 through phase 4. For this planning effort, we hosted 50 workshops in which we asked residents to join us, but we also made an effort to meet people where they were by attending other meetings, festivals, and libraries. You can see the geographic dispersion of our in-person interactions on the map. Throughout phase 1 through 4, we received over 1,700 comments that helped shape the draft plans. And I'd like to mention that all this engagement built upon the feedback received through the 500,000 interactions during the comprehensive plan development, and the 6,000 interactions with the policy map. The community area plans were developed using systematic processes, meaning that it was developed in the same way and will have the same components and format within them. While plans developed systematically are important, you will notice that in each plan, it includes both unique content that reflects the individual character of that geography, as well as some new common policy guidance that helps achieve our vision. These plans provide common set of considerations for all decision makers to ensure we're consistently evaluating options in line with the city's vision. Over time, these considerations will help ensure growth is accommodated in a way that respects established neighborhoods, aligns growth with our infrastructure capacity, and creates vibrant mixed-use centers for all. This table of contents within the West Outer Community Area Plan, it basically outlines the document itself. Now, if you look at other plans, you'll see that the same contents and organization as mentioned on the last slide. Now, I will keep the table of contents visible on each slide for tracking purposes. The West Outer geography is roughly bounded by Charlotte city limits to the north, Interstate 485, and Charlotte Douglas International Airport to the east, Shopton Road to the south, and the Catawba River to the west. Each plan begins with an overview of the area's profile, including a summary of projected residential units and new jobs, as well as a comparison of local demographics to citywide demographics. The next chapter outlines the geography's greatest needs and prioritized goals. Needs are focused on increasing access to employment opportunities, access to housing options, and daily goods and services while reducing environmental impacts. The plans focused on these four metrics because they are metrics identified in the comprehensive plan as paramount for ensuring future growth benefits as many people as possible. The 10 comprehensive plan goals were linked to these four metrics, and if a metric scored less than 5, the associated goals were identified as priorities for the geography. Please note, all goals are important, but this prioritized list will help prioritize limited dollars and resources for this specific geography. Chapter 4 focuses on the recommended development pattern for the geography through the 2040 policy map. The colors in the map relate to the types and intensity of development that is appropriate in the area. To learn more about the colors, please see the place type descriptions in the appendix. After this presentation, I will go to the Community Area Planning website where all of the draft plans, the program guide, and appendix exist. Now, it's important to note that the plans recommend a large portion of the geography to remain as is, meaning if redevelopment occurs in these areas like Neighborhood 1, and here on the map you can see Neighborhood 1 is this light yellow here. And just for frame of reference, Neighborhood 1 refers to more of your single family type neighborhoods, traditional single family neighborhoods. Now, the new development should match the scale and intensity of development on the ground today. The plan recommends 28% evolve into a different type of development than what exists today. For example, to meet this geography's goals for the future, some vacant or undeveloped sites are recommended to develop into community activity centers. This place type change will add new mixed-use development to the recommended areas, strategically providing access to new housing, goods, and services. For example, a place type change from vacant to community activity center will add new development to the recommended areas, which advances Goal 1, 10-minute neighborhoods, by encouraging a mixture of residential and non-residential uses within a centralized and interconnected development. The place type change will introduce not just the mixed-use development, but it will also advance Goal 2, which is neighborhood diversity and inclusion. Goal 3, housing access for all, by increasing access to housing choices, including the number and types of residential units where they previously did not exist. Future community activity centers recommended along existing or planned high-performance transit lines or trails, as such, will provide an, an advancement of Goal 4, which is transit and trail-oriented development, or 2TOD, by increasing the number of households and jobs with access to high-performance transit stations or trails, either directly next to or within a half-a-mile walk or 2-mile bike ride. It also could advance Goal 8, diverse and resilient economic opportunity, by increasing access to job opportunities, including the number and types of jobs for different skill sets where they previously did not exist. Chapter 5, Supporting the Vision, includes 5 sections and references the Neighborhood Toolkit. The Neighborhood Toolkit is included within the appendix because it's a reference for all of the geographies. The toolkit catalogs all the great programs that are currently available to residents to help address their needs. The intent is that it's a resource to empower neighborhoods who want to take some action. The toolkit outlines existing programs, neighborhoods that can take to basically amenitize a common open space and create a public park or a neighborhood park. The mobility section was developed in coordination with the Charlotte Department of Transportation, or CDOT, the Charlotte Area Transit Services, or CATS, and the Charlotte Regional Transportation Planning Organization, or CRTPO. This section restates that Goal 5, safe and equitable mobility, is important across the city. It includes a clip of the citywide streets map, which outlines the future cross-section for arterial streets in Charlotte. Smaller streets are informed by the Unified Development Ordinance regulations, or UDO regulations. This section also summarizes the citywide Strategic Mobility Plan, or SMP, that I referenced earlier in the presentation, and highlights the strategic investment areas within the geography. As a reminder, the SMP is Level 2 guidance that outlines the city's mobility policies. SIA, basically, or strategic investment areas, is filling safe mobility gaps by creating sidewalks and shared use paths, installing pedestrian signals and crosswalks, street lighting and trees, traffic calming, ADA compliance, bike and pedestrian improvements. And just so you know, there are a total of 22 strategic investment areas throughout the city, which were selected through a data-driven approach, through CDOT data, and community-informed through past planning processes. This strategic investment areas also coordinate with CATS to ensure that all efforts are seamless. The next mobility section is probably my favorite. It includes a new level of guidance called the Mobility Assessment. This assessment evaluates how well our future mixed-use places are meeting our aspirations as outlined in the place type descriptions. These assessments should be used by all stakeholders, including residents, developers, and city officials, to inform future development and infrastructure projects within areas. For example, if a developer wants to rezone a site within one of these mixed-use locations, they should use this assessment to propose a project that improves conditions. Similarly, community members can evaluate a proposed project against this assessment to determine if the project contributes to the area's aspirations. The open space and community character chapters include a similar assessment because open space and character are important components of the place type aspirations. For the sake of time, I won't share slides that highlight these two assessments, but we can navigate to them in the online documents if anyone has any questions or wants to look at them together. The next section, Environmental Justice and Sustainability, builds upon the Comprehensive Plan's vision to reduce environmental impacts across Charlotte. This section provides more detailed analysis of the environmental impacts within the plan geography, as shown in the assessment dials on the image, which are these here. It also introduces heat impacts as a new environmental metric, excuse me, that should be considered in future decision making, as shown on the map. So on the map, for example, the hotter areas are here in red and yellow, and when I'm referring to the heat index, it's typically measuring where areas within Charlotte have a lower tree canopy and perhaps have a high level of um, impervious surface. So a lot of asphalt and concrete and not a lot of open space, green space, or trees. Now, after the community area plans are adopted, you might be thinking, okay, how will they be adopted? Well, plans are implemented in multiple ways. The private and public sectors both have a role to play. And when I'm referring to private and public, I'm referring to um, private property owners, developers, and then public sector being um, government entities. And also under the private sector are also nonprofit organizations as well. So we all have a role to play, including residents. Plans may be implemented through private development, private-public partnerships, capital improvements, and rezonings. Community area plans are an important component of Charlotte's planning framework, but they are not the only tool in our toolbox. We also have specific plans in our toolbox which focus on smaller geographies and more on implementation. We have the ability to develop this guidance if and when needed across the city. So it's important to keep in mind that planning is cyclical, right? We plan to monitor and update recent plans, such as the comprehensive plan and community area plans, every 8 to 10 years to monitor growth and to track how we are doing as far as implementing our aspiration, our vision, our goals. The next steps, now I want to highlight this date. Friday, July 18th is when the public comment period closes for all of the 14 community area plans. So that means between now and Friday, you have the opportunity to provide comments on the draft plans and any suggestions that you may have. Now, on Friday, July 25th, the staff response to public comments will be posted on our project website. On Monday, August 4th, will be a presentation update regarding the community area plans that will be provided to the City Council Transportation Planning and Development Committee. As far as City Council decision or regarding the 14 area plans, that date is to be determined. So I want to encourage all of you to keep an eye out. You are on the mailing list if you signed up for these webinars. And that way, that information will be sent out to all of our partners. It will also be marketed through other City of Charlotte channels. On the screen here is a QR code. So if you have want more information about the community area plans, please use your phone's camera to scan the QR code on the screen and it will take you directly to the website with all of these resources. Additionally, if it's easier, feel free to just take a picture of the screen, and it also includes the website at the bottom. I'll pause for a moment so you have a chance to do that. Now, throughout phase five, review and adoption, we have a range of online and in-person ways to share feedback. Of course, today is the last webinar. However, we are offering office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays this month. On Tuesday, it's 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and Thursdays from 3 to 5 p.m. Hard copies of the plans are also available at all of the local libraries. Lastly, but not least, I just want to underscore the importance of utilizing this website as well, so you can go through the plans, look at the 2040 policy map, things of that nature. Thank you so much. So that concludes the presentation portion of this session. I'm going to open the floor for any questions or comments that you have. And feel free to unmute yourself if you like, if you have a question or a comment.
I don't have any questions on what you just presented. I was actually, I guess, signed on for the East, Middle, and Outer. So should I just stay tuned here?
Oh, sure. That's coming up next at 12.
Okay.
Thank you.
Um, you may have said this and I might have missed it. Are we able to get those slides?
Not the slides, but the actual presentation itself, this is being recorded, so you'll be able to refer back to it. We will be
Okay.
posting it on that same website with the QR code.
Okay. And that'll have all the different areas?
Yes, so these webinars that we're having today and the ones that we had yesterday and the ones that we had in May are all recorded. And I will show you that right now so you know where to go, and then I'll put that in the chat for you. Let me go ahead and share this screen.
Thank you.
And then I'll answer the other question that you had related to development near you. Um,
Yeah, I think I found it, what I was
okay.
looking for.
Okay, good. So, because I also want to protect your address, right?
Yeah,
So I'm glad
I
that you
can give
found
you
it.
a different, yeah, I can give you a different location. The QT, I don't know what the address is. Um, because it is a little hard to maneuver. Like I clicked on something
hmm
and the box came up of the description,
hmm
and it was hard to get to the top of that box to read
Interesting.
what the actual development was.
Are you looking on it at it on a laptop, your phone, an iPad?
Laptop.
That's odd. Okay, I will try to look at that momentarily. Can you see my screen where it says Charlotte Planning or CLT Planning?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the website that I was talking about, and I'm putting it in the chat right now. I highly recommend just following Charlotte Planning, the link that I just put in here, as well as the City of Charlotte's YouTube channel, just so that you can remain abreast of the various committee meetings that are coming up. I know that everybody's busy, and so if you can't be in person or watch those meetings live, you do have the chance to go back and watch it um, at your leisure. So this is the website that I was referring to, where all of the videos from the webinars will be posted here. So, for example, you see here for West Outer, which is the one we're in now, but the one we produced in May is right here. So you can go through that. And then there are a number of other videos available here and resources. Now, when I go to, if you give, so does that answer your question?
It does. I can give you a different address.
Okay.
Yeah, because I forgot this is being recorded.
Yes.
Take that out.
Okay.
Um, the address is 3025 Prado Lane.
Okay.
Okay, and can you zoom out a little bit? Oh,
Let's see.
okay. So, oh, a little bit more. It's
Yeah, it's
Okay.
doing that to me too. Hmm,
Hmm.
that's
I
odd.
use the little arrows, the plus and minus, and it didn't do that to me. If you use the plus and minus, it'll let you do it a little
Oh, there
slower,
we go.
but use the plus.
And let me, oh, here it goes. Oh,
Okay.
okay, perfect.
Okay. Can you move it down? Yeah. So it's the yellow. No, not that one. The tan. You X out of that. The tan box. Yeah, that one.
This one? Okay.
Yeah. So yours all fits on the screen. Mine, half of that box is cut off and it's hard to scroll to it won't let you scroll to the top. But I found the link where you can click on the link to get more details.
Yes. So I recommend just playing with it. So similar to using the positive and minus sign just to zoom in and out and just see where the box lands. Because, as I was just doing it here, you could see it took me a few
Yeah.
tries too.
Okay. Yeah, I see it now. I can move it around too.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Yeah. So I thought that's what that was. It's apartments and single family homes.
Wonderful. So do you have any other questions?
No, no.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So before we conclude, I just want to put in the chat where you all can access the draft plans, as well as show you if you want to comment on any portions of the plan. When you go to West Outer, for example, it will take you to the actual draft plan. And so let's say, you want to make a comment on this paragraph. You see the cursor here. You would just click on it, then this dialog box will pop up, and then you would enter your real name, your real email address, and then the comment. That way, if you have a question and you want us to respond to you, um, it would be accurate information. And then you would just include the comment type. So if it's a question or whatever, or a comment suggestion, you would add that and then hit post. Then that information is then uploaded to a spreadsheet, and that way we can track our responses to you and ensure that you get feedback. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that feedback will be provided by July 25th. Now, I have a hard stop and need to transition to the next um, presentation. So I just want to thank you all who attended the West Outer presentation. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I really appreciate it. You are welcome to stay for the East Middle Outer presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.